Yesterday, we spoke about affairs in the ADC and that's the African Democratic Congress. Our guest was Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, who is the chieftain of the African Democratic Congress. And he had a lot to say about how the opposition was coordinating itself ahead of the 2027 elections. Now, he also spoke about the NDC, especially the candidate, the presidential candidate of the NDC, who had left the ADC to be the presidential candidate. He had called him quite a number of names. He said he was a renegade. He said he was leading a criminal enterprise, that citing examples of the dissatisfaction that has now trailed the primaries conducted by the NDC, not just to the presidential office, there was no problem, but to all the other offices, that of members of the House of Representatives and senatorial seats. It appears that there have been some dissatisfaction, and quite a number of members have expressed their angst as to how the primaries was conducted. In particular, he cited the complaint of a particular aspirant, Mr. Obunike Ohaegbu, saying that there are certain things that happen in the Southeast, and he used this to say, to draw conclusions about the party, the NDC, and the presidential aspirant of the NDC, based on what it was that has been said. Well, this morning, we have with us in our studios Mr. Obunike Ohaegbu, the aspirant who was cited in that particular instance. He's an aspirant for Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency of Anambra State. And he decided that he was misrepresented with certain things that were said on the program yesterday. But for those of you who missed what it was that Mr. Okonkwo said about the NDC and what it is that Mr. Ohaegbu will be responding to, let's take a listen, and then we will take the views of Mr. Ohaegbu on what exactly transpired within the primaries of the NDC and his views as to whether or not his party will be ready to be able to wrest power from the ruling party come 2027. But here's what Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo said.
Anybody who is voting for NDC and P2B is voting for criminality. And I will prove it with facts. I will call names. There is one man called Obunike Ohaegbu, the House of Representatives aspirant, Nnewi North and Nnewi South, and Ekusigo local government from Anambra State. He sent an SOS to me, and he said that P2B is now the head of the criminality, that they were scammed in NDC. And he said, Okwanso went back to his people and made sure that every constituency produced one candidate so that they will not be scammed. But P2B told them that all of them, the aspirants, should go into the field, and that they thought they were going to have primaries. Remember, Sereka Dixon came out and said, once you pay your expression of interest form, you are not going to pay any money. When you are now the one that is nominated, that's when they will take nomination fee. And all of them ran into it. Then P2B and the leaders of the Southeast now went and told them, anybody who wants to be House of Rep person, after paying that expression of interest, must pay 10 million naira bribe. And Senate, 20 million naira bribe. When they were
bribe to who?
Bribe to the NDC and the caucus. They call them caucus leaders in the Southeast. This was what he wrote it and sent to me, and sent me the receipt, because they told him he needed money to campaign for his presidency. Now, when they were told individually, so they thought they were now the chosen candidate, that maybe that is the nomination fee. When all of them paid, they discovered there were many. Then we are now told to go into the field for direct primary. And when they now went into the field, they thought that there was going to be genuine primary. And as they were in that field, killing themselves, P2B was in John Wood Hotel. He mentioned the hotel, writing the list of candidates. And after that, they submitted it. You know what he said? He said, I am not disappointed that I lost the ticket. I am rather disappointed that I invested my time, resources, and reputation in a process that is becoming increasingly opaque and inconsistent with the democratic principles it proclaimed.
That was what Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo said yesterday, that this gentleman had told him via message on his phone. Well, we have Mr. Ohaegbu here, who, as I introduced earlier, is an aspirant for Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency of Anambra State on the platform of the National Democratic Congress. It's good to have you in our studios, even though we would have preferred, well, I say, different circumstance. But this is the circumstance that we have right now. In what part would you say that Mr. Okonkwo misrepresented what it was that you said?
Okay, first of all, I need to, if you would allow me, because I need to actually explain what transpired. Was there any communication between me and Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo? The answer is in the affirmative. I have my phone here. I have, you can see broadcast list. I have over 2,000 people that I send everything I write, including Kenneth Okonkwo, and also including His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. The message that triggered this was I sent a message, I sent a broadcast, which I could also show you that also Mr. Peter Obi, His Excellency, the candidate of my party, received. You can see it. I sent the message to him. And what I said is that I addressed the NDC members. I said that they should disregard any rumor that suggests that any city member has been given automatic ticket, because that is not what the party told us. And the member representing Dunukofia, which is the federal constituency of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, was asked not to run because it would not be fair if he runs. It would not be fair to other local governments. And that happened in so many other local governments. So it would be wrong to say that the person representing us, who has never been to my community, that has never been to my local government in the election, will have automatic ticket. And when, especially, it makes it worse when it's being rumored that the senatorial candidate will come from his local government. His local government is, with due respect, the smallest local government in the federal constituency. We have 3, Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency. My local government has 20 wards. His has 12. Nnewi North is bigger in terms of population. So if Senate is already there, House of Rep shouldn't be there. The other local government will be considered. So that was the broadcast I sent. And he called me. We started discussing. And I sent him a message. And I said, the National Secretary of the party, I have also sent this message to the National Secretary of the party, reminding him that you told me, the National Secretary, on 4th of May, either 4th of May, 5th of May, told me that if you pay 10 million naira, you will have the position locked for you. I have also demanded from the National Secretary, this is what you told me. I paid 10 million naira. I sent him proof that I made that payment. And the National Secretary, and I told the National Secretary, if he eventually, after telling me that a lot of people still paid, I am willing, as part of my reconciliation effort, as the person who won the election on ground, for me not to have a credibility challenged ticket, that I'm going to refund every person that paid that 10 million from my federal constituency, if any other person other than me paid. Because on ground, I won the election. I am the only candidate that campaigned in the federal constituency. I am the only candidate that pasted posters in the federal constituency. I am the only candidate that was funding the meetings in the federal constituency. Somebody cannot, because he or she believes that he was promised ticket, we go and grab the ticket without going to the... If you see the video of, especially by local government, the day we had that election, if you say NDC, the only thing people will know, people will shout is, Wamis. I'm called Wamis because my mother was a teacher. So Wamis is the son of a teacher, the child of a teacher. So they know me in my federal constituency as Wamis. So that was what happened. And I explained that. So coming back to what Kenneth said. Okay, let me conclude this one. On the election day, there was no voting in the Nnewi North. They had crisis and they shut down. And I was very conscious of that. Because of that, I never lifted a finger in the Nnewi South. Because if I did, somebody would have been dead. Because my people mobilized there to support me. At the end of the election, I got 720 votes in the Nnewi South. Thousands came. They came and said we had only 700 and something. Majority of the people who registered in NDC from Nnewi South, duty was from my ward. My town has his word.
So clearly there were problems with the primaries.
There were problems with the primaries.
As were conducted.
As were conducted. I am not satisfied that the election I won on ground, that the result has not been pronounced, because my closest rival got 900 and something. I got 1,320. That was my complaint. And I was very, very clear. Coming back to Kenneth Okonkwo. You see, before I came here, I went for morning mass because I'm a Catholic. So as I speak to you, the Holy Communion is still running in my vein. And I'm sure some people will understand. If he said, P2B told me, on the face of it, the greatest thing I am looking for now is to represent the people of Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Federal Constituency. If I have ever said, either through text, or if Kenneth will in any way show, and in any way, I've exported all my conversation to you.
Yes, in the spirit of transparency, you did say that you are going to export it, and you did, your conversation with me.
So, if there is anywhere in that message, I said I met with P2B throughout this process, I will apologize.
He didn't say so. He didn't say you.
He said P2B told us.
That's what?
What he said, that P2B told us that the P2B and the leaders of the South
of the NDC of the caucus
told us. How did he tell me?
No. It said the NDC, the political party, the NDC had said. I think he mentioned Sariake Dixon, who is the chairman of the NDC, that if you people had, if you pay your expression of interest, you will not pay nomination until you have been confirmed the candidate that is going to be running on the platform of the NDC. Was that what you were told by any member of the party?
What I was told by the National Secretary of the party, which I have had an exchange with the National Secretary. As a matter of fact, the National Secretary told me that all my discussions with him, that he did that in his capacity as the National Secretary. My exchange with him. And he told me if I have problems, I should go straight to the party, which I have actually gone. This morning, my lawyers will file papers against the party.
All right.
But what I'm addressing now, he said that P2B told us to go and pay 10 million naira, that he needed the money for his campaign.
10 million naira bribe.
Bribe. So and I'm saying that 10 million naira I paid from information which is in the message I sent to you too. From the information I got from the National Secretary was paid in the account of the NDC.
Can I ask you a question?
The FCMB.
Are you dissatisfied with your candidate, the presidential candidate of your party? Do you have an axe to grind with him? I
have no personal issues with him.
You have no personal issues?
I have no personal issue with him. And I will appreciate these answers if I finish responding to what Kenneth said.
Yes, I'm just asking that because based on the conversations that you had with him and which you also transmitted to me, I can see that you had, apart from the fact that you sent this particular message, you said you sent it as a broadcast.
No, this particular one is not a broadcast. The one that I said that is a broadcast is one that, if you look at that message, the first message that you got is one that has to do my address to the people of Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ohaegbu, NDC members.
Yes.
So in that message, even in this one you have, read it, the National Secretary told me.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you were aware, because he said he was going to use what you had told him as part of his interview yesterday.
Yes.
You were aware that he was actually going to use it as part of his interview.
What I told him, not what I didn't tell him.
Yes, what you told him.
Yes.
And clearly, your dissatisfaction, you were not aware of how he was going to use it, but you were aware that he was going to use it. And he is a member of another political party, of a rival political party. You were aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware.
Weren't you? So, I mean, there are certain things that you said here which would have given him ammunition. Let me give you this. Let me read this part.
Can we finish with what he said? Can I respond to exactly what he said?
Okay, go ahead.
So, let's limit this to what he said, I said.
Okay.
So, he said that the party, the National Caucus, told us to pay 10 million naira. That is the issue. I never said that, and it's not in the message. And I will want this conversation to limit it to what he said, I said, what he said on the national TV.
Yes, we're limiting it to that, because what he said is that, and this is very ridiculous, because it looks like we're doing she said, he said, Well, what he said and the allegation which he made was that the presidential candidate of your party, the NDC, is running a criminal enterprise. That whoever it is that votes for the presidential aspirant or the presidential candidate of your party is not just voting for the All Progressives Congress, as he had said before, but was also supporting the criminal enterprise being run by your candidate. And he cited your message as evidence of that.
And that message he cited is that I said he asked us to pay 10 billion naira. That's what I'm still talking about.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, Peter Obi never told me to pay 10 million naira. I never told Kenneth Okonkwo that Peter Obi in any way told me to pay 10 million naira. The person who asked me to pay 10 million naira is the National Secretary.
Yes, okay.
So I also mentioned that he said the caucus leaders.
Yes.
I told him I never had a meeting, any consultation, any meeting at all where consensus was discussed. So I could never have been in the position to have been told by the National Caucus to pay 10 million.
So going to other things that he said here, I mean, because he said you mentioned the name of the hotel. That clearly is your message here. I'm looking for the portion where he said that the names were collated at John Wood Hotel. Yeah, this is it. So while many of us were on the ground participating in the primaries, allegations emerged that lists of candidates had already been prepared at John Wood Hotel in Abuja. The situation became even more troubling when the party, in its press statement signed by the National Secretary, distanced itself from the controversial list while simultaneously acknowledging circumstances that effectively rendered the outcome of our primaries meaningless. The question is, who was in John Wood Hotel?
I should tell you. What I said there is there was an allegation.
Yes.
There was an allegation that the list has been prepared in John Wood.
Okay. You do not know who.
I did not. You have the message.
Yes. So what I'm saying is,
I never said.
You did not say anybody was in.
I never said so.
A list of candidates was being prepared there, but the situation became more troubling when the party, the National Secretary, distanced themselves from that particular allegation, meaning that they as a party were not aware, but somebody was there.
If you read down, you will see where I said that the party that could not organize primaries is shifting blame. You didn't see that, did you?
Yes. I've seen this. He said even more disturbing is the fact that the same statement signed by the National Secretary appeared to shift responsibility for the Anambra situation to Peter Obi. Is that not correct?
So, I'm talking about the party who is shifting blame. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, I'm even disappointed. Like this morning, I was reading through Valentine Obienye's web. He's taking on me that I didn't support His Excellency when he was governor. He was threatening my history. Unfortunately, the statement that was issued by the National Secretary, shifting blame of the inefficiency of the party to the Southeast leaders. And the irony is that that message that was issued by the National Secretary only addressed issues raised in the Southeast and shifted the blame to the leaders of the South. That is what...
But you believe that. You believe that because here you are also saying perhaps the greatest challenge now is to explain to our brothers and sisters across the Southeast that your friend, and I imagine that will be the candidate of your party, your friend may not truly be running for president at all. You said that, didn't you?
Can you read that message?
Of course, I'm reading. You say your concern goes beyond personal aspiration. You're struggling to understand the pathway to national victory for a party whose key leadership positions are concentrated within the same broad geographical region. The national leader is from Bayelsa. The national chairman is from the South. The national secretary is from Anambra South Senatorial Zone, the same zone as the presidential candidate. In a country as diverse as Nigeria, such an arrangement raises legitimate questions about inclusiveness, balance, and national appeal. Perhaps the greatest challenge now is how to explain to our brothers and sisters across the Southeast that your friend may not truly be running for president at all. That was what you said. So the question is, do you really believe, are you saying, can you really say for sure that you do not have an axe to grind with the presidential candidate of your party?
You are moving to a different issue entirely. I have no personal issue with Mr. P2B. Did I say that he asked us to pay 10 billion naira? I never said so. If you see that, please. If you see where I accuse Peter...
We have since agreed on that.
You agreed on that. We also, do we also agree that I never in any way told him that the Southeast leaders asked us to pay 10 million? Do we agree on that? In the entire conversation I had with him.
I did not see that expressly stated here. But
did you see?
The question I have asked you, sir, is whether or not you have an axe to grind.
I have no personal. I've answered that question
of your party.
I've answered that question.
And I'm trying to buttress. I'm trying to say that perhaps you do, based on the statement, based on what it was that you sent to Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, and that's basically what he was leveraging when he had that conversation with us. My colleague has a quick question for you before we round up this conversation. Ayo, over to you.
Well, thank you, Maokwe. Just one question, because we have quite a number of other things to talk about. Well, you said, Mr. Ohaegbu, you also said in that note, you cited that from your findings, the personal legal advisor to PO was appointed chairman of the appeal panel. While you have nothing against him, according to your statement, the circumstances raise legitimate questions about independence, transparency and public confidence in the process. The party's assertion that appeals were heard and recommendations made before the publication of primary election results speaks volumes about the credibility challenges confronting the entire exercise. Is it possible from where you sit that the presidential candidate of your party and the national leader of your party is not aware of these issues that you have raised?
What you need to understand, if you can, differentiate my concerns against the party and against PU, the presidential candidate of the party.
I think so that we don't waste, so that we don't, Mr. Ohaegbu, just 1 second, so that we don't, so that we don't mix issues.
And I've told you
it will be difficult if you can hear me. Just 1 second.
Also said,
just 1 second, Mr. Ohaegbu.
Just 1 second.
Just 1 second. Parties are not made on their own. They are made of people. And the identity of each party is the individuals in the party, the front runners of the party, the national leader, the national secretary, the presidential candidate, and those are the faces and the identities of the political party. So I think it will be difficult for you, for instance, to dissociate yourself from your child when your child is going by your name. So it will be difficult for anyone to say that you are divorcing yourself, this whole conversation, from the personality of certain individuals in your party who are members of the same party. So we're not saying whether or not you have personal issues with anybody, but these individuals are in the same political party that you have issues with. How is it possible that you don't have issues with the people who decide something that you are ventilating against?
I was clear. I'm trying to read that message. I was clear that the party that failed to do what... I mean, you are mixing it up. I was clear the party that failed to organize primaries, announce results, and issue results are shifting blame. So it's clear that my anger is against the party. I have a process that I'm going to fight this morning. It's against the party. So if you now lift my anger against the party and put it on a candidate, you see, this is the season. This is the season. Reno, Omokri, and the FFK, for their style, they have been made ambassadors. I don't have issues when people decide to go down that route because in this country it pays. It's not my style. The person I have issues is with the party.
I think it's fair enough. It will be your word against your word because it is what it is that you have. We have not raised anything separate from what it was that you have sent to us as evidence. We have only quoted words to you, and we have raised questions from what it was that you said. But I believe that your party will also have its own. As a matter of fact, we're hoping to speak right now with the National Publicity Secretary of your party and some of the issues that you have raised here. Perhaps you'll be able to respond convincingly to them. But we have to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning and also responding to some of the things that have been said about your party. Mr. Obunike Ohaegbu is an aspirant, Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency of Anambra State on the platform of the National Democratic Congress. Thank you once more for coming on Sunrise Daily.
Thank you for having me.